So many people ask the question, in what way is the worshipping of the flesh and of the worldly nature sinful or eroding of the spirit, or something that erodes the spirit over a period of time, And a good description of this, and something that needs to be highlighted, is the movement of the aesthetic movement within fitness, or the aesthetic culture that you see online with a lot of influencers, fitness influencers. Now, this is fundamentally a deviation from fitness and health. Health fundamentally, which is, something that's advocated in the Bible, something that's advocated from anyone who's got a sound mind, who has discernment with regards to these things. But the reason why the aesthetic movement, on the surface of it, people are like, oh, these people are very healthy, they're very fit, they're very put together, they're harnessing their divine symmetry through their body with strength and everything. But, some people might be thinking, well, that's divine, that's beautiful, that's godlike. Ultimately, it isn't, because when we really look into it, there is a big misconception with this. And I'd say there's 3 fundamental sins that are being played out through the aesthetic movement. And the aesthetic movement is the downfall of fitness, is what is causing the downfall of fitness itself. So let me just explain what those 3 are. You have lust, gluttony, and vanity. These are the 3, you could say, main sins that are within the aesthetic movement. And the reason why they're within the aesthetic movement is because it is the focus of aesthetics that you are of this world, and that you are not of this world. This is the idea that you are of this world, that you pertain to the flesh, pertain to the worldly material existence, and that you harness your physical body, and in some way that will some way set you free and all of this type of stuff, in the sense that it will fulfill your potential as a human individual, but it won't fulfill your spirit. And we can see this fundamentally with these 3 sins. Now, there's a lot of people who get, a lot of women, for example, getting into the aesthetic movement simply for lustful reasons, simply for the male gaze, simply for, trying to make money by promoting like their OnlyFans account or something like this. This is not wholesome, okay? And then, of course, you have another aspect of it is gluttony. You've got a lot of people, a lot of men, who develop this sense of body dysmorphia, develop this sense of inadequacy through the body, and not focusing on what their spiritual potential is, or the potential of their spirit is, but only focusing on the potential of their physique and their fleshly nature and their material body, which will never be good enough for you because it's something of this world, and you are not of this world. So there are men who are focusing on this. They're thinking, oh, I've got, my body is very small, I need to work out more, I need to build more muscle. How do you do that? Well, by being gluttonous, by eating loads of food, even food that isn't healthy for you. There's a lot of influencers out there who are saying, look, eat all this food, this is what I do, I eat all this food to get massive muscles, and then it's just like this continuous Ouroboros process of, well, I built more muscle, now I need to build more muscle because I'm never satisfied. And then, men develop this dysmorphic state of physicality, which becomes very detrimental to their own self-perception or their own true capabilities. So you have body dysmorphia, people, and, not to name out any people, but, I was recently watching the YouTube channel of the fitness guy called Sam Sulek. And, a lot of people saying, a lot of young kids are like, getting photos with him in his videos and saying, you're an inspiration to me. You inspire the spirit within me. It's not good, because this guy, yeah, he's really big. It shows a good sign of his discipline and his tenacity, but physically, he is not healthy. So ultimately, on first principle, he's not living up to what he should be doing in relation to fitness. But of course, this is bodybuilding, and this is a whole different. It's very much a deviation from fitness, and the aesthetic movement is that, a complete deviation away from the spirit and towards the fleshly nature, which is a shame, because, the Bible definitely endorses fitness, health, and all of this type of stuff. But people should not be focusing on the aspects of gluttony, the aspects of vanity, within these realms of health, or within these realms of satisfaction, because if we fundamentally look at it, it says in the Bible that you are not of this world. But through the idea of aesthetics, it maintains this belief that you are of this world and you are nothing but of this world. And therefore, people developing these body dysmorphic states within their mental state, and this causes people to very much feel as if they are inadequate, they're not good enough. But that sense or that feeling of inadequacy is caused by the deviation of influence away from God and towards the fleshly nature, which is the fundamental problem that is occurring, that is very evident within something like aesthetics, the trendiness that it is bringing about within the internet. So that those are what I would say are the three main downfalls on first principle of this. Because a lot of people say, in what way is it sinful to be of the flesh, or to be of this world? In what way is that a sin? That is how it's a sin, because it deviates from God. It deviates from understanding your own potential in relation to what is actually important. What is important when it comes to fitness is developing good health. Aesthetics has got nothing to do with health. That's physical health and mental health. Mental health is to do with the mindset, whereby you are cultivating a state of discipline in relation to your actions for your physical body. That is what that is about. That develops your discipline, and a lot of people are doing that through the aesthetics, but it's not in its complete harmony. You'd be developing discipline, tenacity. You'd be developing the ability to be steadfast, which is very much a very important virtue within Christianity as well. But that's what is developed within the mindset of the individual. Mental health. And then physical health, which is to be physically healthy, to have a good cardiovascular system within you, to be very lean, to not be overweight, to not be fat, to be, kind of trimmed, lean, muscular, but not to the point where you become this kind of, Hulk kind of, something that is completely unnatural, something that doesn't look natural at all. And with the continuation of the aesthetic movement, this perception of I need to look like that is becoming more prominent. And the desire of wanting to look like that is something that is fundamentally dysmorphic, unnatural, to the nature of your own creation itself. So that's all I want to talk about here today is the importance of understanding this, the importance of seeing this through discernment. If you have discernment, you of course will be able to see this and see the problems that are arising with it. But of course, if you're wanting to be someone who's healthy, focus on your health. Don't focus on the way you look. Don't focus on the material world. Don't focus on the fleshly world, the world of material desire, instincts, all this type of stuff. Don't be deviating towards that when you're trying to develop mental and physical health on a spiritual level in relation to God. And through that, when you do that, and when people do focus on that, they develop a better sense of discernment in relation to what is right and wrong in relation to these things. And me making this video to indicate what those problems are on first principle in relation to the aesthetic movement is coming from a place of discernment, being able to see it, and cultivating the ability to discern is what is most important. And we can only do that if we mostly focus on the development of our spirit and our alignment in relation to God itself. So, of course, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts down below. What else do you feel is kind of, how do you feel in relation to, this topic at hand? I see it's a big issue. A lot of people are dropping off even in the fitness movement because of this obsession with the flesh, which is interesting. Not with the spirit, The more you focus on the flesh, the more temporary you will be as an individual. You want to take steroids, again, that's another aspect of gluttony. Vanity is the self-belief that, steroids are always going to make me big. it's coming from a place of insecurity, and that insecurity needs to be worked on through your relationship with God and the Spirit. Everything else there is going to be something that's going to place you in a state of disharmony with yourself. And like, for example, if you look at combat sports, you look at the Bushido Code, if you look at the values and the virtues of Christianity, it's about developing your mental state in relation to tenacity, discipline, overcoming anxiety, and combating those things mentally. It's not about this whole aesthetic, consumeristic obsession. So tell me what your thoughts are down below. Very interested to hear your opinions. And of course, guys, if you are at all interested in working with me as a coach with regards to procrastination, breaking bad habits, using effective pragmatic psychology and philosophy and spirituality in relation to Christianity to work through problems within your life, could be with regards to time mismanagement, discipline, breaking bad habits, of course, all those things, procrastination, then drop in a free one-on-one call with me, and we will do a 30-minute discovery call where we can see if building a communication and working with each other is suitable, and we can see what we can do from there. So if you're interested in that, you can find a link in the description towards my coaching call that is very much free. And of course, guys, share this video around if you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Thanks for watching.